Peroxisome's main job? It's basically the cell's #1 detox center. And it makes total sense that you'd find tons of these guys packed into your liver cells, right? I mean, that's ground zero for dealing with everything from fatty foods to a glass of wine. This slide really breaks down its two main gigs. On one hand, you've got this biological recycling plant, just methodically chopping up long fatty acids into smaller bits the cell can use for energy. And on the other hand, that's its hazmat team, all suited up to neutralize dangerous toxins before they can wreak havoc. And this is where it gets really, really smart. To get rid of a toxin, the peroxisome actually creates its own very dangerous chemical, hydrogen peroxide. But, and here's the genius part, it's also loaded with a massive amount of another enzyme, catalase, that instantly snuffs out that hydrogen peroxide, turning it into plain old water and oxygen. It creates a weapon and its antidote in the exact same tiny space. Incredible. And get this, they are unbelievably versatile. A single peroxisome can hold over 50 different kinds of enzymes. That's like a tiny workshop with 50 different specialist tools for all sorts of chemical jobs. It's a true multitasking powerhouse. Okay, so we've met the cell's general protector. Now let's switch gears and meet its super specialized cousin, an organelle you find right where life is just getting started, the glyoxysome. You can almost think of a glyoxysome like a peroxisome that went off to get a PhD. It's got all the same basic equipment, but it's trained for one very specific and very critical mission. And what is that mission? Well, it's to solve a huge problem for a little sprouting seed. See, a seed is just packed with these energy-rich oils and fats. But a tiny growing plant can't run on fat. It needs sugar, carbohydrates, to actually build new parts and push its way up to the sunlight. And this right here is the glyoxysomes' superpower. It's this incredible bit of biological magic. It has the exact right tools, these unique enzymes, to convert those stored fats directly into the usable sugars that a seedling desperately needs to survive its first few days underground. This whole process is called the glyoxylate cycle, and it's something special, found only in these organelles. It's literally the biological starter motor for the plant. It taps the fat fuel tank, converts it into high-energy sugar, and powers that seedling's journey up through the soil. And here's the coolest part. Once the leaves pop out and photosynthesis kicks in, the glyoxysomes are like, our job here is done, and they just disappear. The cell recycles them. Talk about efficiency. So we've got the generalist protector, and we've got the specialist growth engine. Let's put them side by side so the differences really pop. Yeah, they are absolutely in the same microbody family. They look alike, they share some basic parts, but their day jobs, totally different, completely tailored for the different worlds they live in. This table just lays it all out, nice and simple. Look at that first line, location. Peroxisomes, they're pretty much everywhere in eukaryotic life. Glyoxysomes, nope, they're temporary specialists found only in plant seeds and some fungi. Now trace down to their primary role. One is all about detox and breaking down fat. The other is a master of that amazing fat-to-sugar conversion. It really all boils down to the tools in their toolbox, their key enzyme. One is for maintaining and protecting life. The other is for starting it. All right, so we've been deep in the weeds with microscopic details. But what's the big takeaway? Why does any of this really matter? Well, it turns out their impact is just huge. The tiny jobs that peroxisomes do in your cells, that scales all the way up to keeping your whole body healthy. And the work a glyoxysome does in one little seed, that scales up to powering entire ecosystems. When you boil it all down, it's really this simple. They're two sides of the same biological coin. Peroxisomes are all about maintaining life, acting as these tireless guardians that keep our cellular cities clean and safe. Glyoxysomes, on the other hand, are all about initiating life, providing that critical burst of energy for a new plant to begin its journey. It's just an amazing reminder that inside every single one of our cells, there's this whole universe of tiny specialists, each with a critical job to do.